Okay, so we've kind of reached the new phase of the Danielle Hunter drama, the the Danielle Hunter off-season drama, um, because we've got OTAs going on now, and he ain't there, and some fans are freaking out that he ain't there, even though these are not mandatory. Um, but fans are freaking out because we go back to last season when the first reports first started trickling out that he was mad about his contract and he wanted to get paid. He wants to get paid. Allegedly, he wants to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. All these things. So, um, kind of just my standpoint on this at this point is kind of similar to where it's been. I'm not worried until there's any reason to be worried, and I don't think there's a reason to be worried yet. Um, if I had to lay money on something, I'm putting money down that he is on the field week 1 in Cincinnati. Um, and that doesn't even necessarily mean he's on the field with a new contract yet. Um, I they're willing to pay. Like the Vikings, you can say whatever you want about the Vikings and you know what they do or don't do. When they value a player, particularly one who they drafted and developed like Hunter, they will pay him if they think he's worth it. And I mean, obviously they already gave him one pretty good contract, um, and I think they're going to be willing to give him another contract. So then the question is, oh, why aren't they just doing it? Well, he's coming off he's coming off a neck injury, and look, I think he will be able to play at something close to what he was before. I just think he's an athletic freak. I think even though neck injury is can be a little dicier than like a knee or an ankle or something like that. I think he's going to be able to play. Is he going to be? Is he absolutely for sure going to be 100% of the player he was before the injury? I don't know if he'll be 100%. He's certainly young enough to still be 100%. But even if he's 80% of what he was, like he's a really really good player. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is how it is, and just pay him. Well, they're obviously waiting till they can really see him out there on the field, and whether they can see enough just in training camp, or if it's going to take an actual preseason game or whatever. I don't know how much a guy like him would even play in preseason, so it's probably going to be more of a training camp thing. But you know, it makes all the sense in the world from the Vikings standpoint. Let's at least wait to see him out there on the field. I don't know how much. This is of course the thing is, a person like myself, most and 99.99% of Vikings fans, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Has there been any like in person um, evaluation of Hunter since last fall? I don't know. And again, I don't know what you can really evaluate yet. I think in a lot of cases it's probably just better to have him be spending all this time recuperating and strengthening back up, and I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's not someone who's just he's had this surgery and he's just sitting on his couch and wherever he lives and just doing nothing. Um, so I think it's pretty simple from the Viking standpoint. Get him out on the field in camp, and we'll see where we're at with him. And certainly, like if he's you know if the season's underway and he's looking like a beast again, they're going to pay him. I don't think there's anything to be concerned about the Vikings not being willing to pay him if they think he's still, you know, healthy and is going to be a really good player. Because I think it's kind of revealing that all these little extra moves they've been making, both even if you want to go back to what they did during the draft, and then certainly post draft. Like, it's not like they don't seem to be prioritizing pass rushers. Now they did draft a couple, but they were always going to draft a couple. But there have been some guys sitting out there as free agents still now, and they haven't signed anyone, and they still might. But you know, um, you know, it's clear that that has not been like a top priority, um, for what they're doing. So it's one of these things you try to read the tea leaves and see what's going on. It seems to me that they're very much expecting Hunter to play and be very good. There's there's all the talk about, oh, he's going to hold out. Look, I cannot rule out that he's going to try to hold out, to get paid, to get a new contract and be the highest paid player and defensive player. It doesn't look good to me. It doesn't make him look good from the standpoint that if this were to be his approach, that you're doing this after a major injury in a season that you didn't play. I assume he's not an idiot. He's got to know that, if this is his goal to be the highest paid defensive player, well, you got to get on the field. You got to at least get on the field a little bit, because no team is gonna give Hunter his wishes financially. If these are really his wishes, and we don't know for sure, because I don't believe there's been any actual Hunter interviews out there. But if those are his wishes, he's got to know that he's got to get out on the field to achieve this, because he's basically his options would be hold out. Could cost him the season. I mean, if he does, like if the Vikings hold the line, he ain't gonna get paid this year. So then he's gonna what is he gonna do? Is he gonna go become a free agent and try to get this money, not playing for 2 years? Teams have money they can throw around, so maybe somebody would just give him just an enormous contract just for the hell of it. I just don't see that happening. Like, he's got to know. I choose to believe that Danielle Hunter is smart enough to know that to get the money he wants, if he wants it, he's got to get out on the field and show that he can at least be close to the player that he's been before. And the Vikings, again, say what you want about the Vikings, they will pay guys if they are willing, if they are willing to pay them and they value them, and it could even help the Vikings with the cap, depending on how they do everything. I'm not a professional athlete. I don't really care. I don't really get the whole thing about, I got to be number one highest paid. Whoever's number one highest paid, guess what? You ain't gonna be number one highest paid anything for long, because salaries are only going up and up and up. So that's why everyone was freaking out that Cousins was getting, oh my God, Cousins is the highest paid quarterback. Well, he ain't. Like that lasted like a month or something. It's not gonna last. It didn't last with him. It won't last with Hunter. He's what, 26, 27, something like that. So he's got pass rushers. At least the elite pass rushers. They play well into their 30s. So he's got a lot of years left to earn big bucks. And I choose to believe that he knows that he can get paid. That he can get paid with the Vikings. I guess the other possibility is maybe he just doesn't fucking want to play here anymore. I mean, if that were to be the case, I don't understand why that would be the case. But I suppose if at some point he gets it in his head that he just doesn't want to be here, kind of like Diggs. Like, Diggs just didn't want to fucking be here anymore. But again, we haven't heard anything. At least not I haven't. I don't consume every word that's put out there, but I haven't heard anything that's directly from Hunter that says that he doesn't want to play Minnesota anymore, or he's going to hold out. And I really haven't heard anything directly that says he wants to be the highest paid defensive player. You know, I want to be the highest paid defensive player. Okay, like you can want whatever you want, but so I don't think it's crisis yet. I don't think there's anything to worry about at all regarding Hunter until training camp starts, when it's mandatory to be there. If he starts sacrificing fine money to not show up at training camp, then there might be something to worry about, and I'll have to do a new video talking about the actual crisis that is brewing. I don't think we're anything resembling a crisis yet. The Vikings will pay if they see him out there and he's looking like Danielle Hunter, the beast that he's been. They're gonna pay him. They'll find a way to pay him. They always find a way to pay the guys that they really want. And obviously the cap will be shooting back up now next year. Like and they've had money, so like they got all sorts of avenues to pay him if they choose to. And there've been guys out there that they could have picked up to have like another veteran pass rusher. They haven't done it. They added Weatherly. They drafted a couple guys, but those are more minor moves. They haven't done anything drastic to indicate that they're planning to immediately be without Hunter. Obviously they weren't planning to be without Hunter last year, and then he gets the injury. But that's not something you could plan for. They could plan for not being without Hunter this year, and they don't seem to be doing that. So that tells me that they think that he's going to be there, and he's going to play, and he's going to be very good. Again, I don't know. I'm just a schmuck doing a YouTube video. I don't know what's going on, but if you just kind of read the tea leaves, this is what I think is going on, and I think it's going to all work out fine for the Vikings in the end. And I think he's going to be out there week 1, going after Joe Burrow, and again, even if the neck thing kind of diminishes him a little bit, I certainly don't think it's going to diminish him by enough that he's not still a really good player and a really important player on the team. So we'll see. We still got almost 2 months. I don't even know when training camp starts. I don't know if they've even announced the date for start training camp yet, but this is really the dead zone now. Is like draft is over, training camp's still a little ways away. This is really the dead zone now, like June and July for football news. But maybe this will just be the thing that kind of fills up the time until camp. But hey, again, I think, to sum it all up, I think that Hunter's a smart guy. Vikings front office is intelligent. Zimmer's smart. They know what's going on. They know how things work. Get out there on the field. Look like you're recovered from your injury. You're going to get paid. And you're going to get paid big time. And will he? I don't know. Will he end up being the highest paid defensive player in the league? I don't know. Maybe that's not even really a goal. Maybe he just wants to, maybe he just wants a raise, not necessarily to be the absolute highest paid player. Because again, that title is always changing hands. So Hunter's going to be here. I believe he will I believe he will show up at training camp when it actually is mandatory to be there. He's going to show up. He's going to look pretty good. And they're going to pay him. And he's going to be chasing down quarterbacks all season long. And, you know, he's going to make the guy opposite him, whether that's Wanham, Weatherly, one of these other guys they drafted, you know, they're going to look good. It's going to make everybody look good because we're going to have more of a pass rush, and it's going to make the secondary look good. I didn't even bother to, you know, do like a video about the Rashad Breeland signing. Another great fucking signing. Our secondary is loaded. We also signed a guy from Titans who's a veteran. Just probably more his depth, maybe camp body, but like this defense has been fucking loaded up on this offseason. We're going to have a damn good defense, and Danielle Hunter is going to be a very, very key part of that.